Welcome to hurricane season 2021. Well, it actually started yesterday.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not starting out like the 2020 season did when we already had 3 tropical depressions formed by June 1st. The bad news? Well, hopefully there's not any bad news. Right, Mike?
Right.
Yes, okay. WBOC Meteorologist Mike Lichniak joining us in Historic Studio D, talking about what we can expect for 2021. 2020, that was a huge year.
Historic year, most named storms ever with 31. We got to the point where we were like, will this ever end? And then finally it did, because we had so many storms. We had Faye and we had Isaias come on shore here on Delmarva, whether it be just a grazing blow along the course or like with Isaias, just went right through the peninsula. So we all got a taste of what hurricane season could be, and if it were a direct impact, how much worse it could be. So we got lucky with both of those storms. Granted, Isaias produced over 10 tornadoes on Delmarva and dropped all that rain across the area. So let's talk about 2021.
Yeah, so what are they saying?
Good news is that the forecast is about where average is for a hurricane year on Delmarva, or in the Atlantic Basin, I should say. So typically we see about 14 named storms according to the 30-year average. So the NOAA forecast, the National Weather Service's forecast, is 13 to 20 named storms, because they're going to give you a rough estimate of what they're thinking. 6 to 10 of those would be hurricanes, so that would be around the average, which is 7 for the 30-year average. And then major hurricanes. Those are classified as hurricanes that get above the strength of a Category 3 hurricane. We're thinking 3 to 5 of those could get to Category 3 or greater strength. And again, the average of that would be 3 in any given year over the last 30 years.
So have these average numbers changed?
They have. So now we're up to 14, 7, and 3. So the averages from 1991 to 2020, we look at that 30-year period, and that's how we determine the averages. When we were on the old scale, which was 1981 to 2010, it was 13, 6, and 2. So each of those numbers have gone up at least 1 or 2 over the 10-year span.
Now, I was reading something yesterday, and I understand that there are certain things that can affect the hurricanes, such as upper level winds and even like dust from Africa.
Yeah, so the interesting thing now is that with the new satellites that we have up there, GO-16, GO-17, we can actually detect dust in the air, in the atmosphere. So you could see these dust plumes coming off of the Saharan desert being pulled along the intercontinental tropical subvergent zone. There we go. And it goes across the Atlantic and into our neck of the woods. That's why there are certain days in the summer, the last couple of summers, where we'd have this amazing sunrise and sunset to be like this really bright red. And it would be because the dust has mixed in and it's filtering out the sun as it begins to set.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Now, it used to be that hurricanes were all named after women. That changed.
That changed.
Put in guys' names. Where do the lists come from?
So the lists are made by the World Meteorological Organization, and they are 7-year cycle lists. So we get the lists made, and they cycle them through every 7 years. It gets to a point where, let's say, we get Grace. It becomes a hurricane, comes on land, makes total destruction somewhere. That name can be pulled off of that list and then retired. So we would replace
bad memories and all that stuff.
Right, exactly. And then we already have the record of, okay, Hurricane Grace, $15 billion in damage. We can't top that. So we're going to go ahead and retire that name so that we could, for record-keeping purposes, not have to repeat the name.
Gotcha, okay.
So these are the names for this year, with Anna being number 1?
Correct, and the reason why Anna has a check mark, Lisa, is the fact that we've already had a tropical storm, Anna. It was the storm off of Bermuda about 2 weeks ago. It was the storm that caused all the high rip currents the weekend where we had 90 degrees. Not Memorial Day weekend, because we all remember Memorial Day weekend, but it was that weekend where we had 90-degree temperature, everybody wanted to get in the water, but we were telling everybody stay out because the swells were so bad under the waves due to Anna kicking up the current.
All right, so that's a pretty good list of names. Last year we would have gone through those names.
We would have gone through those names and into the Greek alphabet. But as of this year, we no longer have the Greek alphabet as the backup. So what happened was we went through the list, and then we got to Ada, and Ada caused some pretty good damage along the Gulf Coast states, and we were like...
Ada, the Greek...
The Greek letter.
Okay,
Ada.
yeah.
And so we had to actually retire the Greek letter. And
Wait, what?
Yeah, we had to retire the Greek letter out of the alphabet. So that, coupled with the idea that when we started naming them the Greek alphabet letters, people focused more on the lettering than on the actual track and the
was
strength of
going
the
on?
storm,
Yeah.
that the World Meteorological Organization decided this year, hey, we're just going to come up with a second list of names. So there's now a backup list of names that go from A to Z. We take out some letters because they're not very common names in those letters. So we now have a backup list of names that we will go to every single year. It'll go through, and then you'll see that you could replace those names if we are ever to A, get to that name, and B, if we have to replace it.
So
Make
no,
it easier to
no
change
more
it up.
Greek letters.
No more Greek letters.
There you go. You don't have to learn your Greek alphabet
I was
now.
multilingual there for a while.
Oh.
Oh well.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes. Of
course, guys.
WBOC
Thank you.
meteorologist
Wonderful
Mike
talking
Lichniak.